My name is Ella, and I wasn't always like this. I wasn't always the girl who whispered in the dark corners. With just 2,500, you can have my sweet body. But life does not knock. It breaks your doors down, eat your pride, and spit out your soul. I was just 20 when it started. Young, naive, still holding on to silly dreams about love, marriage, and a man who would treat me like a queen. But dreams don't feed a sick mother. They don't pay for hospital tests. They don't stop hunger from biting your younger siblings at night. I was in my second year in school, studying business admin. My father had abandoned us years ago. He left without warning, without shame, without a single look back. My mother, strong woman, tried to raise us on her petty trading until sickness knocked her down and dragged her into a bed she couldn't rise from. The bee pied, the hunger grew, my siblings cried, and me, I stopped being a student and became something else. I was 17, the first time I truly understood what hunger was. Not just small hunger, not the one where you miss breakfast and still eat lunch. I mean the one that bends your belly, make your eyes turn, and your legs shake like leaf. The kind of hunger that makes your brain feel like it's no longer working. It was around 2 a.m. My younger brother Samuel was coughing non-stop. His stomach was making noise. My little sister, Blessing, was crying from hunger. There was no food, there was no money, there was nothing, and my mother had fainted earlier that day in the market from exhaustion. I sat on the floor, back against the wall, and cried silently. I didn't want to wake them up. I didn't want them to know their big sister had nothing left to give. I had sold my phone weeks ago, borrowed from everyone I knew, lied to some neighbors to get Gary. I had even started skipping school. I didn't recognize myself anymore. We were 5 in that small one-room apartment. My father had abandoned us, just left one day and never came back. We heard he married another woman and moved to Port Harcourt. He never looked back, not even once. My mother became both mother and father. She worked under the hot sun every day, selling fruit, shouting her voice out just to make 800 naira. That 800 will feed 5 mouths, buy painkillers, and pay for transport. But one day, after she fainted, I knew something had to change, because if we waited for a miracle, we would die. That's the day hunger spoke to me. And hunger is a wicked voice. It does not scream, it whispers. You are a fine girl, Ella. Just one time, people are doing worse. At least, you will feed your family. At first, I shook my head. No, I wasn't that kind of girl. I feared God. I had dreams. But dreams don't cook rice. Dreams don't pay bills. And when you watch your mother coughing blood and your siblings crying from hunger, morals start to fade. 1 week later, I met Chinaza. She lived down the street, always well dressed, wig always straight, nails always done. She smiled like someone who had never tasted poverty. I used to admire her from afar. One day, I gathered courage and asked her, "Please, what do you do?" She looked at me and said, "You won't understand." But I begged. I was desperate. That's when she told me, "Men want soft girls. Give them what they want, and they will give you what you need." My heart broke, but I listened. She told me how she picked her clients, how she set her price, how she never let them disrespect her. She said her cheapest offer was 2,500. 2,500? That amount could buy rice, beans, Maggi, and still have balance. That same night, I sat outside, stared at the sky, and asked God, "Will you still love me if I do this?" The sky didn't answer, but my phone did. It was Ella. She had sent a number. Call him. He's safe, just want company. He will pay. I didn't sleep that night, and by morning, I made the call. I had the phone in my hand for almost 2 hours. I kept looking at the number. Chinasa sent. I would dial it, then quickly cancel. Dial it again, cancel. My heart was beating fast like a drum. I was sweating, even though it was raining outside. I had never done this before. I kept asking myself, is this how it starts? But then I look at my mother, sleeping on the mat with a wet cloth on her head. Her eyes were soaking. She hadn't eaten anything serious in days. I look at my brother, thin like broomstick. His school shoes were torn. His uniform had holes. Then I look at myself. My pride gone. My shame. Already tired of crying. So I called. The man's voice was soft. Too soft. That scared me even more. He said his name was Uncle Femi. He lived in GROA. He asked, how old are you? I said 19. I was 17. He laughed and said, perfect. Come tonight, I will send transport. I just want company. Company. That word sounded innocent, but my body knew better. He sent a boat. I told my brother and my mother I was going to help someone at the market. She nodded weakly. I left with nothing but a small bag and a trembling heart. When I got to his house, I was like stepping into another world. Marble floors, big chairs, giant TV, fridge homey, AC cold. I smell like perfume and power. He offered me food, rice, chicken, juice. My stomach was shouting, but my heart was crying. He watched me as I ate like someone who hadn't seen meat in 2 months. Then he stood up, stretched, and said, time for dessert. I froze. My spoon dropped. He walked over to me, touched my chin, and whispered, you know why you are here? Don't act like a child. And that was it. No more food, no more talking, no more pretending. I followed him into the bedroom like a ghost. When it was over, he handed me the money like I was a stranger in the night. He even added 500 for transport. I wanted to bathe. I wanted to scream. I wanted to disappear. But instead, I said thank you and left. On my way home, I stared out of the window and asked myself, is this how it starts? By the time I got home, my siblings were happy. My mother smiled. There was food. I lied and said someone blessed me at the market. That night, I held the money close to my chest and cried until my pillow was soaked. I thought I would never do it again. But hunger returned the next week, and so did the invoice. With just 2,500, you can feed your family. I started picking my customers. Some were kind, most were not. Some gave me more, others beat me when I complained. But I stayed quiet, because pain was better than hunger, because shame was better than watching my family die slowly. I told myself I was strong, but deep down I was dying. Until one day, something happened, something that almost ended everything. If you like this story, and you want to see the story to the end, you want to know what happened to Ella at the end, I want you to continue from episode 2. You will love it.